I am Elizabeth of Lore, and I am reporting today from my portal to give a little bit of perspective on some of the weird energy that has been going around the collective lately. So, something that I have experienced personally and that I have talked with a lot of other people about and know that many others in the collective are experiencing are these sensations of discomfort, and that can look different for different people, but a lot of times it can be physical discomfort, like feeling ill, or it can be just like a low mood, very low energy, kind of feeling like in a depressed or sad or hopeless state, feeling disconnected from spirit, from self, feeling less bright about the future, very teary. There's been a lot of purging, like people either crying out of nowhere or people throwing up, sometimes even without any reason that they can tell from their external or physical experience. A lot of worries about money, a lot of stuff closing, a lot of different places closing down that have been around for a while or that it just seems unexpected. A lot of difficulty getting projects, plans, ideas, ambitions going. It's almost like the sense that things were flowing, things were happening, and then suddenly they just stopped. And this is collective. A lot of people are experiencing this. I've been experiencing this. It's not always necessarily for everyone something that they're seeing in the external world, but it's like a feeling. It's like this sort of feeling of dread or confusion or uncertainty or just kind of general negativity without necessarily knowing why or having a cause. So I'm here to talk a little bit about that. Now, in North America, there was recently in April an eclipse, and a lot of these energies came in after that. Now, I will say I was not in North America during the eclipse. I was traveling in Asia, but I live in North America and I returned to North America after, and I felt the difference in the energy, and a lot of my friends were talking about this as well, people I know. So I'm a tarot reader. I pulled a few tarot cards to get some insight on what is happening with the collective. Why are these energies coming about? And what can we do about it? Do we just have to sit with it and deal with it, or is there something we can do? So to figure out what is going on, I pulled some cards from Tarot of the Divine. And the sense that I'm getting from the cards that I pulled is that we are at a crossroads, a nexus point. And this is something that a lot of spiritual people have been talking about for a while, that we have been working on ascending to a higher vibrational timeline, but there are some of us who are not ascending. There's some people who are not going to that timeline. There's some people who are choosing a more difficult timeline, maybe a more apocalyptic timeline. And right now, we are at the nexus point of that. And what that means is that even those of us who have been choosing and acting in the vibration of the higher timeline, the timeline where things go well and go right, at the nexus point, we're intersecting those timelines. So we're going to be feeling the energies of both timelines. And that's something that I didn't mention earlier, but that is also something this, even though there's that a lot of the collective have been experiencing, is this sort of sense of confusion because everything feels very dark and hopeless in some ways, but also still hope, also still the knowledge that things are going to work out, also still the sense that even if we're not feeling it in our bodies, the high vibrational experiences that we have been cultivating, there's sort of the sense of knowing that they're not lost, they're coming back. And that's exactly what this kind of nexus point feels like. It's this temporary merging of different realities that we are feeling as we cross through this transitional place. However, it also means that we have to be even stronger in our will and our choice. I'm getting the message that although we have been choosing the higher timeline, we haven't been fully choosing it. Whether it's because we've had fear-based attitudes, or whether it's because we've had certain elements of what matches with the vibration of the lower timeline that entice us in some way. We haven't fully committed all the way energetically and perhaps also mentally to the timeline that we want to be on, to the world, the higher vibrational world, the reality that we want to be in. And because of that, we're sort of floating around in this purgatory state. And it's asking us to release regret, because some of the regret is what is holding us back. There may be sacrifices involved in this ascension. There may be people we love, experiences that we enjoy that aren't coming with us. And we're going to have to allow that. Instead of focusing on what we lost, we're going to have to allow that to pass. And we're going to have to allow ourselves to move forward and to continue forward and to truly choose to be in the vibration of paradise and of love. So that means examining, what does fear do to serve us? Because if we have it, if we're holding on to it, it's serving us in some way, right? I mean, fear is built into our bodies, our human vessels, as a survival mechanism, right? What does apathy do to serve me? That's a question we can ask. What does feeling bad about myself do to serve me? Maybe it allows you to rest when you're feeling very low about yourself, and like you're telling yourself you can't do anything, then you don't feel like doing anything, so you rest. But maybe you can allow yourself to rest without needing to feel that way. That's one example. And I'm also getting the message that there's been a little bit of confusion that we're experiencing around community and independence. There has been almost like we've been placing our energy in both of these two categories in the wrong place. Like we have been keeping ourselves detached from community while going out and partying, or going out and doing things that are unhealthy for us spiritually, which could be working in the wrong job, or it could be being around very negative people, or it could be going to parties. And parties are great and can be great community experiences, but it could be going to parties and consuming too much of substances that are harmful to us, or something like that. But then keeping ourselves detached from the elements of community that are helpful. So instead of taking time to be in solitude and to cultivate health for ourselves, we're going out being, quote unquote, in community, but doing unhealthy things, and then keeping ourselves detached from the parts of community and the members of our community that could genuinely help us. And the final message I got from this deck was that this is also a learning experience. We are learning and mastering how to hold our truth, how to treat ourselves better, how to experience our emotions and also contain them. So there's been a lot of spillover of emotions during this time. But that is a lesson in how to contain them. It's a lesson in how to feel fully without using that as an excuse to cause harm. That's a lesson that I've been learning, and it's a lesson others around me have been learning as well. And so we're learning how to hold ourselves in a higher vibration through our actions, not just our words or spiritual practice, but our actual difficult interactions with others. And then from Cosmovision, I asked, what can we do? So the first message I got was, well, this is actually a part of the ascension process. This is always going to happen. This is something we have to go through. So that's something to remember, is it's part of the process. This is it. This is part of the path. We're doing it. We're ascending. We have to go through this. It's part of it. that's not all. Another message I got was that we should not be letting the things that end or the things that don't work out stop us, or the things that have recently not worked out, or the things that have recently ended, because this is actually a very fertile time for planting the seeds of what we want to come to fruition. So instead of focusing on endings, focusing on things that haven't been going right, plant the seeds of things you want to do. Anything that you start now, whether negative or positive, is going to be a very dominant part of your reality in the future. So focus on starting new projects, on starting new healthy habits, on cultivating new relationships or rekindling relationships with people that are important to you, that you want to be in your life, because any seeds you plant right now are going to grow. So instead of focusing on the negative, focus on the positive. Even if you can't see it in your external reality right now, even if you're not seeing much of a result from it, just trust that if you plant the seed now, you're pulling it in to be a big part of your reality. And also trust that things are working out, that we are on a path where we are going to be in a good place. So even if things feel heavy or disturbing right now, we have been putting in the work, we are ascending where we need to go, and it is going to work out. So stay the course and plant some seeds. Those are the messages for today for the collective. I hope they're helpful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, your experiences post-eclipse and in the past couple weeks to a couple months, and let me know what you're planting. Also, I'm trying to grow the channel. It's pretty new, so if you could do those things like and comment and subscribe and share, that would be awesome. It's free for you and helpful for me. Plant that seed. Help me plant that seed too. Yes? All right. That's all. Elizabeth of Laura signing out.